Well, hello there. Welcome to me video message. I know this guy looks like he's just kidnapped your kid and he's about to give you his ransom demands. In fact, he's a former nominee for the coveted golden crocoduck. And since today is the feast of Judith Deus, the painter and saint of lost causes, I thought it was a good time to make an announcement about that award. If anyone doesn't know what the coveted golden crocoduck is, it was awarded, well, let's let creationist and Jubai explain. Now this award is given out to those creationists they deem to have broken the ninth commandment. Well, almost right. It was for those creationists who verifiably breached the ninth commandment, and there were always plenty of candidates to choose from. Not one transitional form has been found. There are no transitional forms. Carbon dating indicated live snails had died 27,000 years before. Shells from living snails were carbon dated at 27,000 years old. Mammoths have been found with food still in their mouths, still in their gut, that is tropical vegetation. The evolutionary textbook, you all still find this. They reclaiming that whales evolved legs and became cows. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. We ought to see cats, we ought to see dogs, and we ought to see cogs and dats. And all through the fossil record and life, we don't find one of these. A crocoduck. Over the years, many people have been lobbying for a return of the golden crocoduck. So AV listened to the pleas and decided, yes, I will bring it back, wait till I've finished, but in a more limited form. Under the old system, anyone could nominate a creationist of their choice, and every month I'd go through the nominees and fact-check the information, in a very respectful way, of course, so as not to mock or belittle the sincerity of the creationists promoting these theories. The banana and the hand are perfectly made one for the other. So God has placed a tab at the top. When you pull the tab, the contents don't escort in your face. Notice how gracefully it sits over the human hand. Notice it has a point at the top for ease of entry. It's just the right shape for the human mouth. Okay, that's Ray. I'm getting palpitations. So here's the thing about the golden crocoduck. As you know, I tried very hard to not make it amusing or somehow belittling of these creationist ideas. I am less interested in whether Ray Comfort is holding something God made that fits into his hand, designed for ease of entry into someone's mouth without squirting in their face. What? Oh, come on. I'm talking about his banana. Bam, bam, talking about things. Banana gal. I'm trying to make a serious point here. I am less interested in that than the claim that God made the banana just like this, rather than whether the modern banana was cultivated by humans from a small, wild, seed-filled fruit. If a claim turned out to be false, and therefore a breach of one of the creationists' almost sacred commandments, it got highlighted in a respectful and thoughtful video. But hey, how about the Earth's magnetic field? This is slow, folks. If we extrapolate backwards, just as 20,000 years ago. How long? 20,000 years ago. 20 million. Not 20 million. 20 billion. Not 20 billion. 20,000 years ago, the heat produced by the magnetic field would have liquefied the Earth. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. 20,000 years ago. And a million years ago, folks, get this, the magnetic field would have been so strong, it would have vaporized our planet. Vaporized the planet. Get the fuck out of here. Then, in September, why'd open it up for voting? On the feast day of Judith Deus. the patron saint of lost causes. We'd hold a star-studded gala from this Judith Dias Theatre in beautiful downtown Wagga Wagga, and I'd announce the winner. Well, what would happen as that poor dinosaur was breathing heavily in and out through those very narrow nostrils? Well, I'll tell you what would happen is the nostrils would catch on fire. But things will have to be a little different from next year, given me time constraints. There want to be a monthly look at the nominees. There'll just be one video a year. And that means I can't open it up for voting. Sorry. But you can, of course, post your opinions in the comments section. I'll gather the best of the nominees, make a video on them, and then announce me choice on, of course, October 28th. Now, even though I'm clearly being very respectful of these creationist ideas, there are those who say the golden crocoduck. So get those nominations in now. They close at the end of March because then I have to put together the awards in time for October 28th, 2023. Now, a few ground rules. Videos only, please. If YouTube won't let you add the link, just give the title of the video, the name of the channel, and the host website. I'll find it. And remember, there are other video hosts with even weirder religious channels. Sorry, I mean, even more interesting creationist theories. Secondly, please make sure it is a breach of the 9th commandment. That means something that is verifiably false, not just an opinion or a belief. For example, in the previous series of Golden Crocoduck Awards, I accepted claims from participants at the Santa Convention that the Earth doesn't spin on the basis that this has been disproved by basic physics. It is not moving, and claims that the only way rocks can fold is if they re-newly lay. Strata will not remain plastic for millions of years so that they can bend. The only way the strata could have been bent is because they were still plastic, still soft and moist when they were bent. Tickers that's been disproved by laboratory experiments of hard, dry rocks under pressure. But I didn't accept as a nomination the claim that the nostrils of dinosaurs caught fire because they breathed harder. However laughable that may sound, it's a belief. Still, I'm glad someone nominated it anyway, because later in the nominated video I did find a breach of the 9th commandment. Richard Kent claimed that this picture was drawn by pygmies in West Africa as evidence of the existence of modern-day dinosaurs. And there's a drawing which they made of the Mabembe, and it looks to me very much like a dinosaur. And when I searched for the image online, I found that it had come from a children's book, and the artist was not a Congo pygmy who had seen this alleged dinosaur. And he was a creationist trying to persuade young, fertile minds that dinosaurs still exist. That's what I mean by verifiable evidence, not just something we deem to be wrong. Now, this debunking of the picture may be rather dull and factual, but it gave me a great opportunity to air the fairy dinosaur nostril theory which Anumi subscribers badly needed to hear. Likewise, this one. This is a replica of an oviraptor egg nest. This is what the dinosaurs want to do. I rejected a nomination of Ian Juby for claiming that an oviraptor laid eggs in straight lines instead of circles because it was running from a flood. Ian, that's incredible. And he's welcome to hold that incredible belief. The breach of the 9th commandment came when he gave his source. All of this is centralized to run an article by Barnhart in the Creation Research Society Quarterly magazine. I discovered that the magazine based its information on a book which based its information on a scientific paper. And it turned out the straight line's nest wasn't made by an oviraptor at all. It was made by a trudon which lived on the opposite side of the Cretaceous world. So the oviraptor did change its egg-laying practice, and there's nothing at all unusual about how the trudon laid its eggs. Maybe Jubai was so excited at seeing the pictures that he forgot to read the text. Well, Eric Hovind apparently beat me up by a few votes, and YouTuber potholer54, who organizes the awards, once again has criticized and accused out of his own sheer ignorance. Well, I have no problem admitting I'm ignorant. I had no idea, for example, about the nest-laying habits of the oviraptor. But I looked it up using Jubei's own source, and that's how I know he got it wrong, despite me ignorance of the subject. It's right there in black and white. He didn't bother to raid his own sources. I did. That's why, if your nominee gives a source, then any claim they make can be verifiably disproved, and the nomination is much more likely to succeed. And it helps when they put their own source right there on the screen themselves and change it to fit their beliefs as they rereading it. Now, consider. They just stated, hardened shortly after they died. Or here's Billy Crone claiming scientists have no explanation for how polystrate trees form. Here's an upright tree, petrified tree. This guy was working in the mine, and he came across a tree going through several layers of rock. They have no answer for this one. But when I tracked down the illustration he uses, I found it came from a book published in 1868 that explains exactly how polystrate trees form in the very same chapter. Once again, an example of a creationist who copies the pictures, but forgets to read the text. Of course, the smart ones are careful not to give a source, so that you can't check the veracity of their information. Here's a smart one. Honestly, I don't trust radiometric and carbon dating at all. But bear with me here. Here's a little article from an article. Unfortunately, this guy wasn't quite smart enough to know that if he reads out his mystery source, anyone can Google all the chunks of text and find the creationist website where he got his scientific information from. Next, please post nominees on this comment section. Yes, I will seek it in my daily feed. If you post it on another video forum, it'll probably be overlooked. The great thing about keeping everything on this video comment section is that people can discuss the candidates here. Finally, it's no good just posting a link. I get sent dozens of links every week without any explanation as to what they are, why I'm supposed to click on them, or where I'm supposed to find whatever information or offending material they contain. And YouTube usually deletes links automatically anyway. So along with the title of the video and the name of the channel, Please tell me what the breach of the ninth commandment is and at what time stamp I can find it. Your chances of getting a nomination will be greatly enhanced if the creationists' claim is not only ludicrously stupid, but also widely believed. So this claim was stupid enough to get through, even though it didn't get that many hits. I'm going to make a scientific experiment today illustrating what would happen with the Colorado River for billions of years. This claim about thermodynamics is widely believed, even though it isn't particularly funny. And it doesn't matter what the religion is, as long as it uses the Ten Commandments as its basic creed. All to bang any old crap that fits the golden Crocoduck criteria. Who can forget the Iraqi astronomer who thought the earth was flat and the sun is steady because the Quran says so? And whatever this is, this has nothing to do with personal religious belief. If you practice Christianity, Islam, or Judaism, or worship any of the millions of deities, saints and spirits out there, no problem. Just don't start publicly preaching misinformation about science in order to get other people to believe whatever you believe. If you do, then expect to be challenged as publicly as you evangelize. Now, as with past practice, I will withdraw any nominee who admits they were wrong or made a mistake. And that has happened a couple of times. But it's rare because creationists seem to have an obsessional, almost pathological inability to admit a single mistake. I find the same thing with people who disbelieve other aspects of science, from climate change to plate tectonics. It seems that even the tiniest admission of error will bring their entire belief system crashing down, which is the complete opposite of science, where the discovery and correction of errors is part of how science advances. Come on, goees, we all make mistakes, myself included. Would you rather breach one of your own most sacred commandments than admit you were wrong? The answer, it seems, is yes. I was in correspondence with this guy who was nominated for claiming that the shaft of a hammer, known as the London artifact, had turned to coal. I pointed out that a photo of the hammer in his own videos clearly showed that it hadn't, which he didn't dispute. I offered to give him a chance to admit the error and withdraw his claim, but he simply couldn't bring himself to do that. And this YouTuber even admitted that his translation of Hitler, proclaiming Darwinism to be the state religion and announcing a plan to exterminate creationists, was completely made up. He even lied to other creationists who thought the quotes were real and wanted to use them in their own videos. And you wonder how crap gets passed around the internet. So it's not always a case of self-delusion or confirmation BS. A lot of these people are quite happily prepared to lead to further the spread of their own personal beliefs. I find it highly ironic that they would call upon the laws of a God whom they contend does not even exist. But you do, Ian. Get it? You are the ones claiming to live by these rules. Yet you are prepared to breach your own most sacred commandments in order to get people to believe in the very commandments you are breaking. Now that's irony. And that sound is the concept of irony and hypocrisy going right over a yin jubei. How thika by kai by over kaya guy Harry had by bang bang bang. They had That's spoke. We all keep showing up your hypocrisy, and you keep trying to figure out if the sun orbits the earth. And showing up you, well, yeah, because geocentrism would. I could be wrong on this. Wait, Don to go yet. Here's an update from the charity you guys have been supporting, which I ask you to do in lieu of sending me money. Contributions to date are over $266,000, and I can't tell you how much that's helped expand the work of this charity. It's an innovative scheme to provide affordable health care to people living near national parks in exchange for a verifiable cessation of logging. The result is better health and a better quality environment. Thanks to your donations, they've expanded into other countries and are getting great results. They've been written up in scientific studies and won prestigious awards. I know many of you have put your hands in your pockets, and some have even set up recurring contributions, which is great. Thank you. Thank you. So if you're rewatching me videos for free, even if you get some strange enjoyment from hating them, please consider donating. Knowing that this channel is doing some good in the world really does keep me going. Thanks.